Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is my 2020 bullet journal flip through. So normally I only use 2 notebooks, but last year I ended up using 3. 2 dingbats and 1 Archer and Olive. But let's start with the beautiful Archer and Olive in size B5. For my 2020 setup, I went with a lotus theme. 2019 was rough for me health-wise, and I really wanted to heal in 2020. Ha 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 ha. So I chose that as my word of the year, heal. As you can see, I was not off to a great start. Pretty much every page unfinished. And most of these threads did not carry over into 2021. Look at all those wasted pages. I don't know why I gave myself so much space. And I just continued on with the lotus theme in January. I really enjoyed this theme. It's probably one of my favorites. That mood page is so pretty. I had a lot of fun doing these lotus doodles. I still do this gratitude spread. I just love how it looks all filled out. Until COVID hit, I was doing kind of a scrapbook style highlights page at the end of every month, and I always loved how it turned out. My son left me that little note on my desk one day. If you watched my 2021 February setup, then you have already seen this, but if not, this is my Robin Hood theme. My daughter chose for me to do this since her birthday is on Valentine's Day, and her favorite movie is Robin Hood. I'm pretty proud of how this turned out. As you can see, we went to LA in February before we knew about COVID, and we haven't left the house since. I think for March, I was trying really hard, but with everything happening, it just ended up looking like how I felt, kind of like garbage. I was really not happy with how this turned out. I was looking for something bright and cheerful, but I feel like it really missed the mark. It was a little too bright. Empty toilet paper shelves was a bit of a shock. For April, I wanted something calming to help me deal with the chaos, and I really like it, but this is when my bullet journal just wasn't working like I wanted. With no outside responsibilities and everyone at home in my space, I was kind of just wandering around in a haze, not really sure what to do. And this is the end of this journal, and you'll see that I use the back for doodling, pen testing, random notes, just whatever I feel like jotting down. Tried some watercolors out, just did some planning for my next journal. This one is a Dingbats A5 notebook, which I love. I love the ivory paper and how soft it is. If they had prettier covers and the paper was just a tiny bit thicker, Dingbats would be my go-to journal forever. Anyway, as you can see, again, I was just done with bullet journaling. May and June are the only thing in this notebook, and I only made it to the title page for June, so yeah. But yeah, I was done with it at this point. Alright, so this journal is another Dingbats notebook, and this is when I finally started to get my crap together, you know, until it all hit the fan again. I chose a Phoenix theme for the beginning of this journal, and I'm obsessed. I loved it so much. This is when I started looking at tattoos for inspiration and found a whole new art style that I really just love. I also started tracking my reading, and this is when I kind of decided that I wanted to do a reading journal starting in 2021. Oh, July. This is my favorite spread I think I've ever done. I'm so proud of that sword. You just have no idea. So I was in the middle of reading the Iron King series, which is really good, except for the last book. And I wanted to do an entire theme inspired by the books. And I actually didn't start this journal until the 18th of July, so that's why it's kind of mostly blank. But those wings that I did for my cleaning spread, oh, to die for. So in July, Ben and I started walking the beach in the mornings, so in August, I wanted to use the pictures I took. I don't love the way it turned out, but I am happy for the reminder of those mornings. August is also when 2020 took an even bigger downturn for me personally. My dad passed away on the 17th, and while it wasn't exactly sudden, it brought up emotions that I wasn't quite prepared for. So, needless to say, August, September, and October were pretty rough for me, but I got a ton of reading in and pushed through. I think I read more books than I've ever read in 1 month in September and October. Anyway, September was maple leaves, and even though it was really simple design, I really enjoyed how minimal it was. October is my birth month, so I went with Clue as my theme. This is one of my absolute favorite movies. While I don't love how it turned out, I had so much fun creating it. The bookcase and Mrs. White are my favorite parts. November is always hard for me to decide theme-wise. I'm really not a fan of fall. I'm a summer girl to the core, so it's always hard for me to incorporate fall colors into my journal. I do really like how this looks though, especially the big N that I did for this week right here. December, I went with kind of a Christmas neighborhood vibe, inspired by Christmas with the Cranks. And that's my Christmas countdown. So that's pretty much it for the months part of this journal, and this is where I started doing my reading journaling. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!